The idea of logistic regression is if we have points, observations that we know belong to different classes, and we want one of them to be the 0 class, and we want one of them to be the 1 class, we can say, I'm going to have these points at 1, 2. I'm going to say that that's a negative observation, 0 observation, 2, 1. Also make that one be a negative class. Will someone give me one more point? These points that are negative observation or 0 observations, negative observations are called. Okay, so negative 1, 2. So right here, it's going to be green. I'll use black in case people are colorblind. Negative 2, 0. Okay, so we have 5 points. Now you can probably eyeball. There's a line here that we could work really well. And our goal is to find the right line that would separate these things. A line that does a good job of separating these. Now, if they cross up, then it gets a lot harder. And if you had like 100 points and 100 points, and there were a couple of oddballs that weren't separated, that wouldn't be a big deal. But with 5 points, if half of them are not linearly separable, it's going to be bad. So let's look at what we're going to do. So when we build our alpha of xy, it's going to return a number between 0 and 1, which we can interpret if we say that black is 1 and red is 0. Interpret that as the probability that something belongs to the black class. Does that make sense? And so this output will be the probability that we are in the black class. And so what we want is a line where if you're right on the line, the probability is 1/2. And you just say, I can't do anything like that. So we're going to start out with saying, all right, well, alpha of xy is equal to 1 over 1 plus e to the negative a times x plus b times y plus c. A, b, and c are called parameters of this function. You probably heard that term before. Now, I can think of a, b, and c as living where? Think of a, b, and c as being its own thing in R3. Do you agree? Yeah. So I have what is called a dual interpretation. I have these vectors that are actually plugged into the function, but then I can think of the parameters of the function as being its own vector. Does that make sense? And so every ABC value that you give me is going to give a different one of these functions. What are we going to do? We're going to define another function, which given